Today we celebrate about the theatre of absurd, its dramatists, its technique, its meaning, and all in a nutshell. At the outset, let me tell you, what does it mean? In the pervasive tone of a privileged despair, the absurdists have felt the connotative meaning of the term as which has no purpose or goal or objective. Do you understand? It is a sort of literature whose vision has no purpose, no goal, and no objective. It can also be spoken in Camus' verbatim as which is inexplicable in terms of human reason. Those experiences that defy rational explanation or seem to be introvert, our sense of fair play, our desire for happiness, our need to find pattern and purpose in human existence, with the consciousness of human transience, in contrast to the endurance of inanimate nature, where man has no inexorable mathematical certainty of death, and in the otherness of people, he feels the human potential in apparently arbitrary death and portrayed or protracted suffering, and he becomes a nihilist, a hedonist who has physical affirmation but intellectual negation. Even the philosopher Heidegger, Kierkegaard, deny the existence of God. Kafka feels it right. Camus corroborates their idea, and Beckett, Ionesco, Adamov see something in the same way of existentialism and brand it as absurdity. Here, coming to the absurdists, or particularly absurdist playwrights, they feel that they subscribe to the common sense of the term and common sense of these particular feelings. Still, they have their own very personal appropriation or feeling or sense of understanding to both form and subject matter of the writing in such a sense. So each of these writers, however, has his own special type of absurdity. In Beckett, it is melancholic, colored by a feeling of a futility, born from the disillusionment of old age and chronic hopelessness. In Adamov's, it is more active, aggressive, earthy, and tinged with social and political overtones. While Ionesco's absurdity has its own fantastic knockabout flavor of tragical clowning. But they all share the same deep sense of human isolation and of irredeemable character of human condition. However, these type of European and American dramas of the 1950s and 60s gave expression to the existential sense of the meaninglessness of human life and endeavor. In form as well as in content, the absurdists exposed the essential meaninglessness and therefore the terror of existence. Like the mythical Sisyphus, as Camus cites in La Mythe Sisyphe, forever rolling a stone towards the top of the mountain, aware that it will never reach it, At the top, the dramatists of the absurd often created plays that end where they begin. That means have no beginning and no end, without any progressive development of plot or psychological interest. Often, the drama is derived solely from the intensification of the critical situation of man. This almost circular structure provided a representative image of man's absurd existence, beginning nowhere and going nowhere, but going on and on. They present an illogical and anti-rational theme to present the nothingness of human life. So the traditional theatrical techniques fail to carry the message. Here continues a nonsensical conversation, having no recognizable characters, obeying no unit of time and place. Everything seems happening beyond rational motivation. The spectator, remaining totally alienated, estranged from the happenings in the stage, sees without ever understanding the full meanings of their strange pattern of events. He never identifies himself with any character because he fails to do it. The dialogue is equally futile, sometimes consisting of little more than a phrase, book cliches, and baby talk, repeated over and over again, emphasizing the nonsensical and mechanical nature of human communication by carrying it to a tragicomic extreme. Thus, this also the playwrights share the metaphysical anguish of the existential dramatists. Observing individually, while Beckett works on a matter of fundamental sounds as fully as possible, he uses imagery, rhythm, suggestion, pauses, and eventually the sound of silence to proclaim his message to the audience. He shows an undefined sense of guilt, the feeling of hopelessness and anguish resulting from the loss of identity and purpose. So in Waiting for Godot, the two clownish tramps, Gogo and Didi, went for the mysterious Godot. Like the anonymous A and B and Molloy, or Ham and Clove in the action-packed endgame, they achieve nothing but end in a stalemate with multivalent meanings for different interpretation. In Krapp's Last Game and in Happy Days, the characters are found progressively losing the power to act and are growing isolated and alienated. Here pauses, entrance, exit, monologue, dialogue, movement, immobility shows what really the absurdity of life is. Similarly, through conventionality, even Adamov presents isolation, alienation, and failures in the face of formless opposition. His epoch-making The Invasion depicts the hopeless quest for meanings, while his ping-pong commentary on mechanized society and Paolo Paoli sometimes French life at the close of La Belle Époque before World War the First. But the man and actually tops the list is Eugene Ionesco, his chairs. All these dramas are depiction of the modern life having no meaning at all. So I think you must have gained a little idea on the theater of absurdity, its dramatists, the techniques, of the dramas, how they are different from the traditional dramas. And if you want to read more, go to some dramas and go to Kafka, Heidegger, know the philosophy of existentialism, and you can well understand how the modern life is too upset to live in. Thank you.